Hello everyone, it is Kenyon here, it is Basketball Rewind. I'm here to deliver another set of news. We're going to go into it, we're going to get into it today. And what are we going to talk about? Well, everyone's favorite topic, which is ranking players, of course. So let's get into it and let's jump into it. Today I'm going to be talking about the Raptors players and how they have ranked for the ESPN's top 100. I'm going to make a couple of these things because in a sense, ESPN kind of trickles it through and kind of slowly drip feeds you, all of the players so that you can kind of think about it and talk about it as you go through it. So let's get into it. There's a couple Raptors, of course, that we're going to talk about today. Of course, I've already covered the news of Fred VanVleet, so rip to that one. Let's just get into it. So the first one that we're going to cover is going to be RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett right here. Yeah, RJ Barrett is ranked as the worst out of the 100 players. So let's just see what he says. He averaged 21 points per game for the Raptors. His role is going to be a little bit in flux, and I think that is very true. This is really interesting, actually. I did not know that only two players in all of Raptors history averaged 25 and 5. That's very interesting. I think the league is down on RJ, and that's very true, and that's very fair. I mean, there's an inefficiency rank here. I think anytime you're on a team that is a poor team, or anytime you were injured a lot, of which RJ played some games, but he did not play a full slate of 82 games, and the team was really bad, you're going to see it drop. I mean, I'm a little bit surprised that it's dropped this far, but hey, it happens, and I wouldn't read too much into it. He will have a very interesting role for this next year, and we're going to see how that plays. On to the next one, number 93, not far behind, Jakob Poeltl. Okay, so again, in terms, as he says, signature stats, and I'm not sure if this is just fantasy rankings. If it is, that's interesting. That's very fair. 93 in the entire league is interesting. The reason why that's interesting to me is because if I am a fantasy person and I'm going to be drafting a Raptor and you need a guaranteed double-double, this is probably the closest thing that you'll get to it, because you know that they're going to rely on him. But, as I said before, when you miss a whole ton of games, which he did, missed 57 games out of the past 2 seasons, that's a good chunk of games, and that's going to push you back. Although for him, it's increasing, because now he went from unranked to ranked. Obviously getting a 2-year extension, good for him. This is interesting. DeMar DeRozan. Brandon Ingram is the final one that we're going to be covering for this video, and so let's just get into the Brandon Ingram of it all. The interesting thing about Brandon Ingram is last year he was ranked 40. Now, some people will say, oh, this is way too low, Brandon Ingram is below XYZ player. Here's the thing. He played 17 games? So if you're playing only 17 games, I can understand your ranking being a little bit lower. So I wouldn't read too much into this. This is kind of fun to kind of look at. I forgot that he was a former number 2 overall pick. Sorry, 18 games, my bad. But I forgot that he was a former number 2 overall pick. What I will say to that last point is it's really, really important, and on to this next guy as well. It's really important if you're a rebuilding team to draft high enough, consistently enough, because guess what? Talent is talent, and usually talent happens in the top of the draft. Hopefully he has a good season. Hopefully he has a healthy season, most importantly. I do think that, yes, we were last in off the dribble jumpers. I think that there is some structural changes that the Raptors need to kind of go through from an offensive philosophy standpoint to be successful this year, and we'll see if they do that. So yeah, that is that. That being said, like, comment, subscribe. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and there's going to be more, so stay tuned. Take care.